Hi everyone, so I'm back with another SciCraft episode, and yeah, it's been a while. So I think the last one was 2 months ago, and yeah, the reason is I just didn't play any survival Minecraft, so that's quite normal for me. There are awesome times where I don't play Minecraft or survival Minecraft, and yeah, my plan was always to make one episode on average per month. And I think I started this series about 1.5 years ago, and I think we're now at episode 21, so yeah, basically it works as planned. But for the near future, I plan to do more frequent episodes again, but I'm not sure how long I can keep that up. So meanwhile, in those I think 8 or 9 weeks, I was active and creative, made some videos, but we also played some modded Minecraft. Me and Rego played for Ever Stranded, and I also played Breath of the Wild. So it's very rare that I play games besides Minecraft, but yeah, huge fan of the Zelda series, and I just had to. Okay, now a little status update. Before my break, we made some live streams on Rego's Twitch channel, and the slime forms are completed almost. We still have to do some work left. There's some work left to do, so those dispensers need to be filled up with water buckets. So we made an on-off mechanism. Because of the on-off mechanism, we technically sacrifice some spawning spaces, since we sometimes need more space in between layers. So this one, but which layer? Okay, I figured it out again. Has been a while. I think we built this 8 weeks ago. So between the first and second layer, there's 3 blocks of space, and the same between the third and fourth layer. The reason is we want to put in those dispensers. So here, for example, between the second and third layer, 2.5 blocks are enough. Large slimes are 2.24 blocks high, so they easily fit in between there. But if we would have, for example, a dispenser sticking out a little bit, then the large slimes would collide, and then you wouldn't get rid of them as fast as with more space in between. So that's why we had to sacrifice one layer. If we would always use 2.5 blocks of space in between, then we could actually have 5 layers in the first sub-chunk. But yeah, since we have so many slime chunks in this perimeter, it doesn't matter much. We didn't even use all the slime chunks, so we used 24 slime chunks. Now I think we had 32, so it's totally enough. Farm will be fast enough even without those extra spawning spaces, and the on-off switch will be nice. Explain it later why. So 1 hour later, I put water in all of those dispensers, and we already built this observer grid that would activate all of those dispensers. So let's try it out. Just place a block in front of one of those observers, and then there's of course some delay. It takes a while until we reach every dispenser. But all the spawning spaces will be disabled. Let's use a rocket so you can see from the top. Also the top layer works fine. Those activate. That looks pretty good. There's an issue. But I forgot to place glass there, or griefed in. I have 1 glass. Nice. Okay. I failed, of course. Anyway, I'm gonna fix that. At some point we definitely want to connect all the ends of those observers so we can activate them via just pressing a button. And we also have 2 observer grids, so this would be one and that's the other one. So we have 12 chunks attached to each grid, and the reason is we want to have 2 modes. So the farm would work best if we have a mob cap of 140. You only get that if 2 players are on the server and they are spread out. So the plan is that we have 1 player here that AFKs for the mob spawning, and a second player would AFK in a different perimeter, for example a witch farm perimeter, where all the farms are disabled, so we get double the mob cap. And this way we can have 140 mobs in our world, and since we have so many spawning spaces, it's no problem to fill this mob cap. So most of the time we're gonna have 120, 130 slimes just in the overworld before they would go to the nether. So in total, we're probably gonna average 330,000 slime balls per hour of the 2-player mode. So we also want the 1-player mode, and in the 1-player mode, where just 1 player AFKs here, we just gonna activate half the farms. So half the farms will be deactivated by the water. The reason is that the main lag problem is mobs going from the overworld to the nether side. So those portals, if they don't get used for a while, if a mob or entity goes to the other side, then the portal searches for portal blocks in a different dimension. And the algorithm isn't really optimized. Searches for millions of blocks to find the portals and selects the portals and so on. So this is really laggy. And this happens most of the time when a portal doesn't get used for a moment. And the chance mobs per portal ratio would be lower if you have a lower mob cap. So fewer mobs spawn, there's more time between mobs going through portals, so we have a lot more lag since we just have less mob spawning. And since we also don't need the spawning spaces, it definitely makes sense to only activate half of the farms if you do it with the normal mob cap of 70. For 2 players, we're gonna have a mob cap of 140. So that's the reason why we split up those lines. For now we're done on the overworld side. Let's head to the nether where those slimes would go. So in one of the last episodes we already prepared the nether area. We dug away a lot of blocks just to have some space. Also, meanwhile we made a little room around it. It's 80 by 80 and built up walls so it looks half decent. And yeah, this is the arrival hall for the slimes, where we also collect all the slime balls. So as I said, we're gonna have 330,000 slime balls per hour. So we never had a mob farm that would deal this many items, and it will be quite a challenge to collect all of those mob drops. So we never had to deal with this many items. The most we had was with the melon farm. We had to collect 500,000 items per hour, but this was a lot easier since we had water streams there. So in the nether, no water. Basically we have to use either hoppers or hopper minecarts to collect the items and put them into shulker boxes. So yeah, I'm gonna start working on it, so then I'll explain what I'm doing here. But first I got quite a shopping list. So we need to pick up some items here from our main storage where we store all the items. So we need about 1200 hoppers, 500 droppers, 400 repeaters, 200 sticky pistons, etc. So a lot of stuff, but it's a normal sized project for the SciCraft server. So I'm gonna put all of those items in the shulker boxes. I lined up all the items right here. So as always we need a lot of glass and those items. A lot of stuff. Now let's pack it up and go back to the slime farm perimeter. So while we're on the journey, let's talk a little bit about 1.12 and the near future of the SciCraft server. So we briefly discussed if you would want to update to one of those 1.12 snapshots even, since they just added new blocks, but yeah, no new bugs, and also no older bugs got fixed. So it would have been an option, but we decided against it since some client-side mods like Optifine wouldn't work there since they don't get updated to snapshots. For example, at our main storage, it's okay if you use Optifine, then you can play the game really normal, but if you don't use it just vanilla, then you get 20 FPS, and if you have a bad computer then even less, so it's really not bearable to not use Optifine there. And yeah, so usually we mostly use Optifine, so that's why we decided against it. And yeah, since they just added new blocks, not that interesting even, so we could dupe them of course and do some stuff. They are also nice for building, but not that important in the big picture. Also, we're not even sure yet if we want to update to 1.12, since also most of the additions were more gimmicky, like dancing parrots. That's interesting for 5 minutes, let's be honest, but then afterwards it's just annoying. So we're not excited about that. We're mostly excited about mechanics, game mechanics that we can use for something, and 1.12 so far added almost nothing. So that's why the only real reason would be to update to 1.12 if they would fix the brewing stand bug. So that's really annoying by now. They didn't fix a lot of older bugs yet, so definitely hope for it, but usually if they fix older bugs, they also remove bugs that we like, which are more features than bugs, so that's always a problem with that. Definitely hope for a brewing stand bug to be fixed. You can see we also built a piston bolt already towards the slime form perimeter on the nether side. It's not finished yet, that's why we can't even use it. Since it stops at the end, we can see the outside of the room for the slimes. But probably gonna make a left turn and make an arrival outside of it, and that's where we can go to the overworld side. Yeah, also kept the style of the piston bolt and the colors of this room, so that's why I think it looks quite decent, the piston bolt. Alright, so some progress has been made. I placed those 5000 glass blocks, so we have a drop chute now. Also placed the portal, that's where the slimes would come from the overworld side. Yeah, what's important is that we have a double layer glass, so this is too thick. Since those slimes would split up, and sometimes smaller slimes would kind of glitch into those glass blocks, and this prevents them glitching through them. So the smaller slimes would stay inside. I also started with the item collection system, which is really massive. So keep in mind we have to process 330,000 items per hour, so that we would fill up a double chest on average every 40 seconds. It's really crazy. So this is the item collection system. So for each slice, and we want to have the ability to process 36,000 items per hour, which is the speed of 4 hoppers. And yeah, we have one minecart going over below those magma blocks, and here this is an unloading system. Actually forgot to place those iron trapdoors. Let me quickly do it. The iron trapdoors are in, so those are quite important. So we have this minecart going back and forth, and if the minecart would collect an item, it would go over this detector rail, which this comparator would detect. Then we have a double torch at the back, so basically this would turn on, and the sticky piston extends, which powers this trapdoor. So it would close, so the minecart couldn't go back. It's locked in here, so between those two rails it would jiggle a little bit on those two rails, and here we have two more hopper minecarts below that would unload the top minecart. And those lower minecarts actually stand on 4 different hoppers, since I pushed them against those ender chests. They are not a full block, that's why they are partially standing on 2 hoppers. And then the items are just distributed to the shulker box loading system. So for example here, the items would go through there and would fill up this shulker box. Then once the shulker box is filled up, this hopper in the back would also start filling up, and once the hopper has signal strength 2, it would activate this mechanism here, power the hopper, which this observer detects. Then the sticky piston extends, the observer goes up, powers the sticky piston, pushes this observer down, breaks the shulker box, and the dispenser would place a new shulker box, and all the shulker boxes would go to this hopper output line. So since we have, I think, 20 slices, I have to build this system up 19 times more, and all of those hoppers would connect to the central line, and here we would have a stream of shulker boxes filled up with slime balls. And then the plan is to take those slime blocks back to the overworld where we would craft them. So we could AFK in the overworld and just craft them there. Some more progress has been made. This cluster out of hoppers, droppers, pistons and observers is almost done. Now it comes a rather interesting point. So I struggled there a little bit. Here we want to separate out the minecarts on 4 hoppers each, and I'm having a little issue with removing the rails. So tried doing it pair by pair, but then they would always push each other. And now a different strategy is still sitting on rails, and I want to activate all of those sticky pistons at once and pull up all the rails so they would break. And hopefully all the minecarts would stay in place. If that fails, I probably have to drop them from the top one by one. Okay, let's power all of those pistons. Okay, looks good. And once I've moved the power source, then hopefully all the minecarts would stay in place. Okay, that looked successful. Hope it works. I can try to put in some items into this hopper, for example, and if they would go to this chest and then this hopper here. Okay, so we have redstone in there. Yep, seems to work. Everything's alright. Oh, it's even distributes them to 2 hoppers. They are sitting sometimes on more hoppers. Don't think that's actually an issue. It's okay, I guess. Yep, should be fine. Yeah, I also should have mentioned that I built this in the wrong direction. So if you have a minecart on top of a rail and then break the rail under it, then sometimes if you build it in the wrong direction, the minecart would just switch its direction by 90 degrees, so they would always align this way. And here actually would be better if I would have built this up, turned around 90 degrees, so it would be easy to deal with the minecarts. So this even happened here, so some of the minecarts turned by 90 degrees. I hope this will not be an issue. If it is, I think I could still align all the minecarts afterwards, put them on a single block and drop them one by one, if this would be an issue. So probably just gonna see it after the farm is finished. It wouldn't be too much of a problem to move stuff above and place the minecarts again. But I hope it will work. Also what I haven't mentioned so far is that we all the items are collected at one end of this rail. Let me quickly go up there. So all the items are collected here. That's just one end, and on the other end the minecart would stop. So it would have been a little bit easier, so I wouldn't have to spread out the items that much with a lot of hoppers if I would unload the minecart on 2 ends. But then there's the issue that I couldn't stop the minecart, and I really want to stop the minecart, because if you leave a chunk and re-enter it later and you have moving entities in there, it's likely that something goes wrong, so they either just disappear, duplicate or whatever. That's why we always want to stop turn off minecarts or moving entities. And that's why I made this rather complicated design here, where the items are spread. You have a lot of hoppers, but I put a dropper on top of every hopper, so I hope it's not too laggy. I think it will be fine. So it would be a lot easier if we would have unloaded on both sides, but then how would I stop the minecart? So it took me like 1 hour to figure out there's no easy solution, so I went this way. So it's a few hours later. I also took a break, but by now the system is done. The item collection system, you can also turn on and off those minecarts here, just with this lever, but the plan is to make this a little more presentable, so we can activate it somewhere at the top. So there's still some work left to do. We need to fill this up with shulker boxes. So basically here, this is the input line. This would, there's a hopper line, goes to the back, comes back to the front, goes over the right, goes to the back, and comes to the front again, and fills up those dispensers here, shulker boxes. So it fills up the first dispenser. Once the dispenser and the hoppers are filled, and fills up the second dispenser. Basically we have to put in a lot of shulker boxes in here, so it will also reach the last dispenser. And then we're gonna add intermediate storage for shulker boxes. So basically we want to make a loop. We take the output, which comes here. Here we get the filled up shulker boxes, put it into a crafting system, and the empty shulker boxes would go into the intermediate storage again. So we make a loop, but we also need some kind of intermediate storage. If we want to AFK for 8 hours, then we need some shulker boxes to fill in, so the system wouldn't dry up. So we're probably gonna add about, I don't know yet, storage for 2,000 or 3,000 shulker boxes, because the system or this farm, if it runs at full speed, would fill up 200 shulker boxes per hour. So it's really crazy. And we never worked in this scale before, so one of the craziest farms ever on SciCraft even. So really wanted to work on this episode, but I also want to release this video today. So not gonna do that today, probably in the next week. Not sure if I'm gonna work on the slime farm again in those SciCraft episodes on my channel. Maybe the next thing you'll see about the slime farm is the server tour with Rego and a guest, probably. So I also have plans for different content for SciCraft episodes. So next episode's gonna do something different. yeah, we focused on the slime forms for a few episodes now. Time to change it up. Yeah, also the plan is to release one episode every Sunday for the next few weeks at least, and then who knows how motivated I am. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.